What? Well, go on, y'all. Me damn. Me have to say, goody, goody, goody. So, a while back, I recorded my first impressions of going onto the online story mode for this game. I recorded for about 2 hours and realized that there was no audio. So now I'm giving you more of a what to expect or what you need to know about the online experience of Need for Speed Unbound. I'm gonna break it up into online garage, free roam, my thoughts. Small, short, simple video, right? So, starting off with the online garage, the first thing that you need to know is that online is separate from story mode, so you will need to earn your cars all over again, and you have to pick and design your character all over again as well. In online mode, most cars aren't available until you complete the specific challenges that are needed for them. The cars you win from the story mode main missions are also available to be used in the online mode, but they will come at the default level that you earned the car at, so any tuning or upgrades you did on offline, you will have to redo and reapply on the online mode itself. I am unsure if the winnable cards that you could earn from other races transfer over, as I didn't do any of them because in the story mode it made no sense. All I'm going to do is lose money. I'm not going to go on a tangent, we're going to continue on the points, okay? Right? Everything earned from collectibles is also usable in both online and offline. Free roaming, down to the free roam map. Races are put into playlists holding 3 races within them. Most of them are the same class type of races. There are some mixed playlists where one could be, you need a B car, an S plus car, and then an S claw. And then the one other thing is like one race, if I'm not mistaken, where it's just a simple race on its own, nothing else towards it or nothing to it. To be able to do the races or the playlist, you're going to need at least one other person in your online server to join so we can get it started and up and running. Without them, it can't be playable, but it is noted that if they do leave during the first race, you can continue the playlist on your own. So if you're doing any challenges for a specific car, it will continue. You can continue playing it and still earn the reward for the challenge, which is quite nice. One thing I will mention about the playlist though is they're all the same and all set no matter what time you set the game to, whether you set it to day, night or whatever, it's always going to be the same races in the same spot. Both collectibles and activities are also Both collectibles and activities are the same and can be done in both online and offline as they carry on over between the both, which is convenient for anyone trying to do 100% on the game. In this game, they introduced an event called a link up, which is an area on the map which is highlighted in a green circle. Once you enter that green circle, you are to complete challenges again. Oh my god. Once you enter that circle, you're meant to complete challenges and compete against the other races in your server that have joined. Depending on how many races are in, depends on how much percentage you get, which can also depend on how much money you get overall when you leave. There are 5 phases when it comes to the link up, and the heat level that you have depends on the phase that you're currently in. If you complete the link up, you will always leave in a 5 heat chase, and if you fail to complete all the challenges on like phase 3, you will leave on a phase 3 link up. So that also depends on how much money you get and RP earned. If your car gets destroyed or you get busted whilst you're in the circle during a link up, there's no need to worry about it. Your car will refresh. Some of your points earned during the challenge will be taken off and you continue worrying about nothing. The one benefit is once you finish the police race, your stars go down to 0. Your stars, this ain't GTA, my boy. Your heat goes down to 0 and you can continue free roaming, doing activities or whatever you were doing without any hassle about the police. Getting busted in your car being totaled during a police chase still works the same way like it does in the offline mode. You'll be brought back to the garage and whatever money you had earned at the time will then be taken off you. If you're driving around and you destroy your car either in a normal race or in free roam, your car will be refreshed and you'll be able to continue. I assume if it happens in a heat race, you will also just be refreshed and continue. But don't take my word on it, I don't know that for sure. There's also fast travel in this game, so you can teleport between garage to garage if you're trying to get the challenges or certain events quicker. So that sums up everything to do with the online experience and everything that happens, right? Now I'm going to tell you about my thoughts and experience playing the game from what I've done so far. And it's a mix of emotions between everything. So I dislike having to do challenges to gain access to cars. I feel like it numbs my experience and my playability and it takes some of the fun out of it because I like to be able to just earn money, buy a car, tune it up, see how it compares to the car I currently think is the fastest and work out which is the best, right? Also, if you're in a race and you get lapped or left for dust by another racer, and then you find out the card that they're using is specifically, and you find out the card that they're using needs to, and you find out the card that they're using needs challenges done to unlock it, it means you're going to continue to lose until you're able to get it, which can be a bit annoying or tedious, you know what I mean? It's able to keep up with the folks, you can't. Redoing my character was also slightly a bit tedious, but here we go. I'm not much of a fan of needing online players to be able to start playlists and do races. I'm used to being able to go against the CPU like how they did in Heat, and being able to just drive, test out the car that you're trying out and see if you tuned up correctly. It's a bit hard to be able to do certain races, especially if there's a link up going on. No one's going to join your race, and if you're trying to do specific challenges to unlock cars and no one's joining, you're going to probably have to leave that server and join a new one and able to get people that would join with you, which is also kind of tedious given everything's blocked by challenges for cars. I'm also not too fond about the playlists all being set with the same races no matter what time you put the day at. I enjoyed the freedom and the availability to do any race like I did in Heat. I'm also not a big fan of everything being a playlist and the playlist being the only ones available as well. It was nice having all the races available in Heat and being able to pick which ones you wanted to do, and if you wanted to just focus on off-road races you could, if you want to focus on drifting you could, or just straight races. It also helped you figure out how you needed to tune your car. You probably have to do everything through the activities to be able to understand how your car works properly, because the playlists are not going to give you everything you need, especially if you can't get someone to join for you. One thing that they did do which I enjoy is the fact that during a playlist it shows you what car people pick before the race starts, so you know if you got beaten, what car to use, what car not to use, and vice versa. My 2 cents on how they could have made the races work is if they combined it both Heat's aspects and Payback's aspects. I feel like they should have had all the races available like they did in Heat, so you can pick and choose, right? And still probably go against CPU if you wanted to, only gain more money if people join you. I feel like playlists could have been its own separate server which you benefit from in its own specific way, and say you do more than just 3 races, you do maybe 5 or 6 like how you did in Payback, so you have 2 different servers for 2 different playstyles or 2 different things that you're trying to gain out of it. I think that would be an interesting concept, and then they could have still just kept link ups in for when you're free roaming as well, so there's just multiple options and availability. The fact that there's no daytime and nighttime races doesn't help the fact, because you're limited by certain things, so that would have been a nice way to just tie everything up together. On topic of that, I feel like the fact that they didn't capture on the daytime and nighttime races that they used in the offline mode, I think that's wasted potential. I kind of enjoyed that concept of whatever you did during the day goes into the night, and then you have to worry about what you have or haven't done. I feel like that was a cool concept. It would have been nice if they implemented it onto online, especially given, like I said, in Heat they had Heat races and you had night times, and everyone in the server had their own specific Heat. So I feel like it's not something that they couldn't have done. I just think they just chose not to, but on a creative standpoint. One thing I think I might miss is seeing my friends' times during races as well. I like being able to see them, compete against them, and go about my day. Found it interesting, found it competitive to myself, saying, oh, they beat me in that car, let me see if I can buy that car and beat them. But like I said, with you being able to see what people's cars they use during a playlist, I guess it's not that big of a botheration. I'm glad collectibles and activities are all transferable for 100% if I do choose to do that. That'd be very nice. I do like the addition of link ups. It is a good way to make some money. I do find the challenges you do quite repetitive. You end up doing the challenges at least twice throughout the phases, so you'll get the same challenge at least twice, which tedious, but it's fine. For the gain and for the money, it's nice. Something I feel indifferent about is the police not being a worry or hassle throughout the time playing on the online experience. It kind of takes away from it because there's always an element of annoyance or even danger or surprise knowing that there's gonna be a consequence for doing the same amount of races you do, unless you're leaving a link up or you purposely crash into a police officer in this game on online. You're never gonna have to deal with them, and even then, once you finish the link up, your heat goes down to 0 and they're no longer a threat. So kind of takes away at least that aspect or experience, especially coming from the offline, knowing that, oh, everything got done now transfers over. It kind of makes it less, not less enjoyable, it just kind of takes away from the experience. It's took away from what I've been expecting from playing story mode, right? My one tip for online is that you're gonna want to abuse the nitro buffs, so you're gonna want to pick either based on your playstyle, drifting or grip turning, and then you're even gonna probably do nitro for near misses or nitro for drafting and base your playing on that. So far what I've seen, drifting usually seems to be the best. I've seen the most people drift. I don't really see many people do grip turning. I personally prefer grip turning, but if you're able to customize your car and drive in a style that it works, it is payable. I think they both pay off well. It's just if you're able to tune your car and drive in the way that you need to be able to keep getting boost and be able to continue driving. For those that enjoy the Need for Speed franchise, I do believe you should probably get the game. It is quite nice, it is enjoyable. I wouldn't say pay the full price, given though it's probably not full price right now. For anyone that picked it up during the Christmas period, December period, and you got it for around under £11, good on you, right? I feel like anything over £30 probably not worth it. I'd wait until it's under that to play the game, given everything I've said. It's still fun to play, but I feel like replayability just seems slightly lower than it does in Heat so far. And I've got like 60 hours in the game, so I feel like I know what I'm talking about slightly. Granted, the story mode took up a lot of that. Don't worry about any of that. Anyway, right? That's everything. I'm gonna conclude up on this, right? Do not go to the like and subscribe button. I hope you either learned something, you enjoyed it, or if you just started playing, it becomes useful for you, right? I'll see y'all in the next one.